Hey, what's going on, guys? So today's video will be the most in-depth video as far as the tips and tricks goes, and I figured out a fancy cute name for it, so that's great. And so this one is going to be a full commentary about those 4 things that were on that first page. Know when to forget it, don't be afraid to disengage, make time be on your side, and know when you can't run. And they don't necessarily come in that order, but I'd say the most important one is make time be on your side in fights. And what I mean by that is like,
Weapons and hacks can both
oh
be
shit,
upgraded in a process Prisma Dimensions
forgot about
calls
that.
fusion, trademark
So
and patent pending.
these
If you
2
find a
hacks
copy
right
of a
here
weapon or hack you already
are
have in your
very,
inventory,
god
you can
damn it,
fuse it,
bitch,
creating an
shut
upgraded
the
version.
fuck up. Alright, look, these 2 hacks, you can trade out Invis for this one. That one, invulnerability is invisibility to damage, invisibility is invisibility to people. They're the same exact hack, just different versions, right? And so these 2 do the exact same thing, and what they do is they let you be able to drag out, I don't know why I said drag out how long a fight will be, right? And so if I'm fighting this guy and he headshots me with a ripper, immediately upon peeking him, I can hit this and analyze him. Use a little bit of time, maybe he'll fight someone else, maybe he'll do something stupid, maybe he'll float in the air and I can 2-tap him in the head with my riot. Who knows? But that extra time to decide on what I want to do after he headshot me will really help you out in fights so that you can make calculated decisions and not do dumb things all the time. But also, this one, you don't have to do anything. You just stand in it. Now you have extra time to be alive, in a sense. And so, by putting down heal, technically it's constantly raising your health, and if you're being shot at, it's constantly keeping you alive for longer. But there is a weakness to having heal as an ability, and that's for one, if you hit really good headshots, you can outdamage heal. So yes, it's keeping you alive for a little bit longer, but you know, you'll still die, so you have to keep that in mind, right? But it is giving you a little bit more time to stay alive, move around, just more time to be able to get your invis back or invulnerable to be able to move out of the way. The time that you have during a fight, a lot of people rush fights. They rush them very fast, hard, or they immediately think that because one thing happened, they immediately lost, and that's it, they can no longer win. But with enough time, you could potentially think of something really good and shit on the guy. Or stay alive long enough to go talk to yourself in a corner about how shit you are, and then go back and, triple headshot him or something with your newfound confidence. Either way, it's better than just running up to him, immediately trying to kill him with a jumping spray and pray, and then you end up dying and you're like, oh, that's impossible that he killed me, blah, 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 blah. But then if you were to watch the clip back, really you were just like, oh my god, it's a guy, I want to kill him. And then you just freaked out and attacked him and didn't give any cares as to what was going on. You might not have even used an ability, slid, jumped, depending on the situation, because you weren't thinking about it. All you were thinking about is pull the trigger, kill the guy. And sometimes it's like that whenever you're in really high kill games, or if you haven't seen anyone the whole match and you just really want to fight a guy, or say you just like absolutely dumpstered 2 people and then the next guy you're just like bam, and you try to dumpster him too, but he was a better player and he shit on you because he took his time with it. Or you're the same level of player, but because you didn't take the time to use all of your skills in your handbook, he took advantage of that and killed you. Look at my stick drift right now. But yeah, make time be on your side in fights. And other ways you can do that, you know, is by sliding, things like that. Whenever someone's shooting at you with a gun, they have a magazine size. If you can catch them when they're reloading their gun, that's, you know, that's free time that you have that they're reloading their gun and cannot do damage to you. Whether they're using their slides and stuff to get away from you while they reload, you know, that's a different story. But that's another thing to think about. The more movement you have, the more you can make someone run out of ammo. If someone's chasing you, shooting at you, and you stop at a corner and you hear them reloading, pop out with a shotgun and hit them for 100, they're going to probably just be like, oh my god, he just hit me for 100, not move at all, and then stand there and die when you shoot him again and kill him. And that's just because they didn't think about their time. They should have taken the time to reload around the corner without peeking in a spot where they could potentially take damage and mess up. They didn't think about it. All they thought about was getting the kill. So make time be on your side in the fight. Use it to your full advantage. It's the best tip in all of them. It's 100% is. Another one, know when to forget it. This is a big one that I suck at, and so whenever a kid's over here running this ability and this ability, and he's just like, oh, 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 and then right when you break it, he does this and hits a thing and flies away with some magical boost that he has to his ball for some reason, you know, I don't understand it. But these guys, they just run and they 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 run, and they will waste your time, and you will waste so much time trying to kill them. People will be dying somewhere else and you will be missing out on kills. So if you're one of those guys who typically gets, you know, 16, 17 kills, you probably chased around a good few of these throughout the game, and that's what caused you to miss out on those other kills where people were fighting. Think about it this way. If this guy in the ball, or just running around in this, never fighting, he's probably never going to fight, you know? Unless he has like 200 meter range weapon and he's shooting you from super far away, or he's hiding in the building with a salvo. That's probably the only times he's going to fight someone. So that the odds of that guy killing someone is probably not that high, and you would be much better off finding opponents who are fighting each other and stopping them from killing each other to gain more kills. It will help you out a lot in your high kill games, or if you seem to be struggling with fighting against certain weapons, you know, you might need to forget it, and that's what leads me into my next one. Don't be afraid to disengage. If you're running 2 hacks, if it's the beginning of the game and you have like mine, wall, and you have like a pistol, this thing, and that's it. To be honest, I'm going to loot more. I'm not fighting anybody. I'm not doing any of that. Even if there's 5 kills around me and they all seem like they absolutely suck, I'm probably just going to go loot more somewhere else, because I'm going to take forever to kill these people, and that's going to, for one, make it so that I lose out on kills elsewhere. But 2, if I take forever to kill these people, do kill them, whatever, all that time that was spent, I still only got the loot from that starting area, even though it took me so much longer to get it because I started with this gun that sucks. You know, so like, it's probably just better to not fight those people, go loot somewhere else, go find a new fight somewhere else. Just disengage from that. If there's this many people in one rooftop, and this guy, even if this guy has that much health, and you have a skybreaker all the way upgraded, if there's this many guys in the roof, you should probably just leave still. Like, it doesn't matter. You should probably just get off that roof. It's not going to be healthy for you. You only have 125 health. I'm going to post a video tomorrow on desync in this game and different things like that. So you can check that video out then, and we'll talk more about that topic of why you should always jump off of that roof with that many people. But disengage from that. You're not a bitch. you're smart for not being stupid and dying to that many people on a roof when you could potentially have so many more kills. And if there's that many people fighting on a roof, there's probably going to be that many people coming to third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh party that fight that's already on that roof. And so if you're up there with all them third, seventh, whatever the hell party coming, you probably died before any of those extra people got there. And if you think about it, you're not going to kill all 6 of those people most times. And so you should just let the new ones trickle in too. Let them fight each other, pick them off. Okay? You know, just don't stay on that roof with the 6 people. It's not smart. But at certain points, you will be getting chased by a few people, you know? In a situation where there's a room like this and there's all 3 of these guys in this one room with you, but there's a lot going on outside. It's a lot worse outside with skybreakers and everything else. So this room is honestly your best option right now. And so in that situation, you kind of just gotta fight. And that's where it leads you back into the original thing, where when you're fighting, you need to bide your time in your fights so that even if you're outnumbered or whatever's going on, you can handle the fight and continue on. And so that's the 4 things, and the perfect balance of these 4 things results in very, very high kill games. And I, for some reason, have choked a 30 bomb several times. It's kind of funny. It's cracking me up, I'm not gonna lie. This one's 28. If you count kills from Storm. If you don't count kills from Storm, it's 27. The game also makes that distinction at the end, you'll see. But, yeah, and so, like, I'm missing a little bit of my balance. I'm missing some early game kills. I'm making it so that I'm not engaging enough end game when the crown's up. So that I'm just trying to stay alive more so instead of still getting my kills in. And so there's too many people alive for crown, and then I can't end up focusing the crown because of how many other people are focusing me or something along those lines. And I can't get the 30 done. I just can't get it done. But yeah, so in this video, I explained everything pretty thoroughly, but I'm gonna drop some, knowledge here and there, explain what things are happening here and there. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoy it, and if you do, I mean, you know that like helps me out. Alright, so in this first fight here, I see this guy, I want to engage with him, I see another guy in here, so I take it slow, put down the heal to make sure I don't die immediately. He has a shotgun, so I watch my peaks, I don't peek again because my health bar is only 50 and he can hit me for over 50. So I use the invis so that he doesn't know where I am, get the easy last shot. This guy fries my shit, but if I was to run out the door up the stairs, he has an easy line of sight hallway to kill me, so I stay close and evasive. Right here, I didn't move back even though I was one shot just because Chuck was there to help me out. And he had got him weak, so I stayed. If Chuck wouldn't have got him weak, I just would have slid away. Right here, these 2 targets are already weak, so I tried to jump in and keep their attention, but they both had hex fires and good accuracy, so I had to move. I bided my time by picking up the invulnerability and moving in a way that that guy had to turn around outside before he could shoot me so I could get the other guy half. Right there, FOV in this game is bad, and so if you slide around and jump around a lot in someone's face, it is very hard for them to track you, especially with the way that the ramp acceleration and deceleration works in this game. The patch today added sensitivities that changed that, but obviously this video is made before that, and a lot of people will probably keep the accelerations and things because that's how people normally play the game. And so that guy headshot me, so I immediately disengaged and put my heal down. I put my heal on the bottom floor just so that it wouldn't get stuck in some weird area with the railing. See how I do the same thing again there? Just because I want to know that I can get that heal off of it, I double back through it to get the heal while they're chasing me. And right here, I try to put as much pressure in as I can so I can come back here and secure some kills. But as soon as I do, there's a Skybreaker and a Ripper, so I immediately popped invulnerable. There's probably more Skybreakers, there's probably more Rippers. Just back out of that. Right here, I didn't think those guys were going to slide out at nobody, so I had my Harpy out. This guy, I figured those guys on the right had moved off by now since they were moving so fast already. Try to take a 1v1 with him, but it doesn't exactly play out in my favor. But I find a Max Riot, and so same thing as before, stay close and evasive, FOV status. I realize I just picked up my Max Riot, I can really kill her very easily. I take advantage of that. And there's a res right here, and I know that these people won't fight me for forever, or if they do, I can try to stay out in the open as much as possible to get hard peeks off of them to try to go for easy 3 taps. But there's a little bit of extra pressure, more people coming in. I notice that there's like 6 people on my screen now, so I take a quick back off, come back, they're all gone. Immediately I'm able to res Chuck, except for this one guy, and I lured him into the corridor so that it would just be super easy shots. He couldn't jump around all that much. I could secure some headshots pretty easily. Right here, I want to kill this guy just so I have less to worry about whenever I come in, but there's so many people there, I can't deal with it. I have to pop the invulnerable. And this is obviously a very bad spot, but I saw that there was another invulnerable right there on the ground, so I immediately pop my heal and go for that, because I know if I can pop my invulnerable in the heal, I can get all the way back up to full and be good to continue the fight. And luckily I did get back up pretty good there, or else the low grav turning on would have definitely gotten me killed. But I know that I can't take that fight right there in the way that it was happening, starting on the back foot. So I restart the fight, go heal up, come back. And here, it's only one guy. That's why I engage here. I'm like, oh, it's only one. I can kill him very easily. No one was shooting me in the back or anything. So I take advantage of that, kill him. The other one jumps on me. He gets a good drop on me. But since I had my heal down, and I'm constantly keeping it down, and right there, I turn on the invulnerable on the heal so that they couldn't damage me, and so I could heal back up to full and maintain my health bar. Even though it was so low the whole fight, I kept using my abilities constantly chained, and I bided my time with them and knew when I should take my shots and when I shouldn't, and that's why I was able to come out on top of that, because I disengaged a few times and I took the fight when it was right, and so that I could take it the way that I wanted to, and it worked out. And that guy was clueless. But never do the, oh, where am I getting shot from, and turn around to look at the guy. Don't do that. That's just a tip. Don't do that. If you just got chunked for half your health bar, don't peek. Don't jump around and look for where the guy is, unless you want to go for, you know, some nasty riot clips and hit the 180 triple headshot when they had you 1 health. But you know, if you want to do that, you can die, and you know, if you can do that, you probably don't need to watch this tips and tricks video as much. One thing I want to talk about with air tracking is whenever you're trying to track a target in the air, it's much better to try to go for the trajectory of where they're going. And so right there I was super weak, but I knew I could secure the kill on that one guy because he was only 1 shot, and so I waited, bided my time in my invulnerability, and secured the 1 shot at a good time to where I could get some cover, focus another target, not die to all those guys that were coming in from that angle. This guy came in really hard for the push, didn't bide his time, used his abilities improperly, and ended up dying for it. This, I didn't bide my time and take my shots. I was just like, oh god, kill him, oh, it's so easy, blah blah blah. Really? I sucked ass. To be honest, I didn't bide my time taking my shots. That's another way of biding your time that I didn't talk about in the beginning of the game, is making sure you line up your shots in the time that you can, right? And so, back to the airborne thing, like that guy, I always aim for the end trajectory of where they're going, and half the time I'll be shooting buildings because, you know, people fly behind buildings with slam and stuff like that, but a lot of times I can hit people very consistently, going for where their trajectory is and then going for hard adjustments on the aim, not tracking, hard flick adjustments. And as you guys have seen from my clip videos and all that, it tends to work out pretty well. So I mean, just practice it however you can, and see if it works out for you. Yeah, so those guys, honestly, like, none of that was intense fighting. I was just jumping around, you know, and like exactly like what Chuck's saying, like, these kids are fucked, you know what I'm saying? Like, just all of them. They didn't have a chance. Me and Chuck, we were just working back to back, focusing the same target, just cutting them down. And I'm sorry that my video cut right there into me killing that guy and I couldn't talk about it, but he jumped in the air, and like I said, I guess his trajectory, this guy, see how I tried to guess where he was going? I shot up, but I shot up too high in the air, and then I shot too far below him whenever he was going down. Sometimes it happens that way. It's okay to miss, as long as you learn from your misses. If you just get so mad that you're missing that you never learn anything, then, you know, oh well. Another thing about aiming, tracking targets is, whenever you're tracking, a lot of times I'll see people, they have their aim on target, and they will move their aim. I don't know what it is. Like, that they expect their target to move. But I mean, if your aim is on target, then you don't need to move your aim. You know, like you're good. And also, when moving around and jumping and things, you can actually use left to right on the stick, as well as, you know, your left stick moving, air strafing, to keep your aim on target while you yourself are in the air. And so I don't know, if you get good at moving them together while you're in the air, thinking about it like you're like pitch and yaw of an airplane instead of, you know, just left or right, and use them in those diagonal forms, then you can really get some clean air tracking and tracing while you're flying through the air, or even tracking targets that are in the air. It all helps out. And so that's just my opinion on that. And so in this part here, this is where I defend the shit out of the crown here in a second, and that's my main mistake. I don't go around looking for kills. Yeah, so Chuck says he's got him weak. I come in behind him, looking for him. He instantly pops balls, so like I said earlier, know when to disengage. I don't really chase balls like that. So I immediately start looking for other targets within the building. Catch this guy off guard while he was trying to go help his ball teammate outside, probably. And then I get caught off guard by a riot, so I immediately disengage, pop the heal down low, try to get some of my health back. This guy double headshots me, or triple headshots me with the Hex, so I disengage with him a little bit, just try to get a better angle. My video cuts, and I don't bide my time on my shots, and it looks like I no-reg him or something as well. And then, yeah, I end up losing that kill just because I didn't bide my time on my shots, and that's my fault. And right there, I was literally shooting him and invulnerable to test my shot, like, do I suck or what's going on? Yeah, so he wasn't even trying to shoot me, so I just freely shooted him. You know, there's no point in using anything. That's one other thing. You don't, if someone's not shooting you or not even looking at you, most times you don't need to be strafing, you don't need to be jumping, you don't need to be doing all of these crazy things while you're chasing someone, because doing all of those things definitely increases the chance of missing. And if you're increasing your chance of missing when someone's not even looking at you, then that's just not smart. If someone's not looking at you, you should take full advantage of that. And if you find yourself chasing people sometimes and then they just turn around and shit on you, It's probably because you were doing crazy things, weren't taking your time, were too busy thinking about racing them instead of killing them, cutting them off, and things like that. And you wasted too much of your ammo or something, and then they just turn around and kill you. You know, it happens. And that's just because you're not taking your time.
Only 15 seconds left.
You're not really thinking everything through while you're doing it. Or maybe you should be forgetting it, and you're just chasing this guy that you shouldn't be chasing. For example, like Skybreaker people. If you're chasing a Skybreaker person in buildings, they'll die, you know? They'll just repeatedly shoot it at you. But yeah, so that was the same problem that I had before, or that I outlined. I don't kill people enough towards the end. And yeah, it was a really good game. And I ended up missing out on the 30, but it was still really fun. I'll get it soon.